Honestly, I'm pleasantly surprised with how many new earnable cosmetics there are within Modern Warfare 3 Season 6. For a season that's half as long and honestly kind of just like a capper on the year, not offering nearly as much as prior Season 6s as a whole, the earnable camos and blueprints are actually pretty solid, offering you something to do with this launch and more coming in the future before we get to Season 6 to sort of just keep you busy if you're at all interested. So today, I want to run down how to get each of these new rewards, both talking some helpful tips for the things that are laid out and are there as a part of like events and stuff, but also pointing out a few hidden rewards as well. Drop your thoughts as we go along, drop a like if you enjoy the video, and make sure to subscribe for more Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 6, and other FPS coverage. I'd love to have you in the community, but for now, let's get into it. Starting out with some camos, because, you know, I love the camo grinds here within Modern Warfare 3 and COD in general, but let's start out with one that was actually a pretty cool one that is a hidden camo. At the time of recording this, I don't know if they'll end up changing this in the future, but right now there is quite literally nothing in the menus that lets you know this challenge exists until you end up completing it. Then you'll end up getting the prompt that says, hey, you completed this. But you can end up getting the Jack of all trades weapon camo available for every single weapon in Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 by completing the fully kitted out challenge set in either multiplayer or zombies. Now again, what does that mean? Because there is no way to check on this. There is no way to track the progress of this challenge set. But in multiplayer or in zombies, it is a challenge that requires you to end up using an aftermarket part and getting a certain amount of kills. It doesn't have to be a full-on conversion kit like turning the weapon into something else. It can be something as simple as just down to an aftermarket part optic, which is what I opted for, no pun intended. But so long as you end up having an aftermarket part of some kind equipped to your weapon that you're using, all you have to do is in multiplayer get 1,000 player kills, or in zombies get 7,000 zombies kills. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure which one would be like faster. I think it really comes down to a lot of different variables, like can you grind out and hold a spawn trap in shipments? Do you care about playing shipment 24/7 to grind this out, or do you just want to do this in a more relaxed version where you put on a podcast, talk in Discord, or listen to music while you just mindlessly end up shooting zombies? It's up to you. I went with a zombies route. It took me about an hour and a half, almost 2 full matches of zombies, and I ended up getting those 7,000 kills. But if you end up doing that, you end up getting the camo, which strangely enough actually is not in the events or special camo tab like every single non-weapon challenge camo has been to date. I mean, minus the things that are like obvious, like ranked or something like that. Instead, if you complete this and you can't find it, it's strangely in the classic category of weapon camos. So bear that in mind. Alongside that, if you do complete it, we talked about how it is a sort of challenge set, meaning that it will come along with more than just that camo as a reward. You also end up getting the Jack weapon charm, the Jack Industries calling card, and the Jack Arms Industries emblem. So you get a couple of different things here for just simply a hidden challenge. But not to stay too long on one topic, let's talk about the event camos. These ones, of course, are laid out. They're not something that are hidden in any capacity, but they could use some help here if you are having some trouble with them. So quickly breezing past these, in the Purgatory Island event right now, we have the Inner Demons camo, the Still Beating camo, and the Cloud Watching camo. Now, the Inner Demons camo is earned by getting 5 operator kills while in a vehicle. My best advice here for this would just simply be, if you're playing solo, grab a vehicle and end up driving around the map until you can end up swapping seats and end up taking an enemy out while still, again, being in that vehicle. But if you do have a teammate that can drive you around and help you out, that obviously saves you so much hassle in terms of potentially losing a gunfight if somebody is actually focused on you and you have to swap seats where your aim gets messed up a little bit. As for the Still Beating camo, this requires you to get 3 operator kills while using the Terror Ball. This is an incredibly annoying thing here that you have to do because they are so large, so clunky, and they don't really move a whole ton when you run into them. So what I would recommend is getting the ball into a high traffic area. I found with my run-throughs here at this, the safe area by the Stronghold on Rebirth, there was a lot of people that were in the games that I played hanging around that area. So I put one of the Terror Balls at the edge of that, let people come out and start experimenting around, or if they were taking a gunfight, whatever. But then I down them with my weapon and then finish them off by shooting the Terror Ball at them. That to me felt the easiest. You could end up doing this by knocking them with a Terror Ball and also then hitting it back into them, but it's more of a case that I think that it's easier to do knocking the player first and saves you some time if somebody's potentially trying to third party. And then once you do both of those, you end up getting the Cloud Watching camo for completing the entirety of the event. Other things like reaching Torment level 2, just kill AI and regular players, spending 5 minutes outside the safe zone without killing an operator, just go hang out in the water or something like that. 50 mercenary kills, you can just farm the spawn locations of them. Commending 5 operators, you just have to commend somebody 5 times. I don't think it has to be 5 different players. Teleporting, again, is super easy to complete, and then piloting the flying shipment is a pretty easy one as well. It's just up in the top crate on that floating island. I personally think the cloud watching camo is one of my favorite camos out of Modern Warfare 3 and what's been on offer this year to date. So that's now 2 years directly in a row where both my favorite camos have come from the haunting event, and then this time around I can't use them next year, but it's still like, dang, the coolest thing was at the very end of the year. Speaking of the Purgatory Island event as well, one other hidden challenge is the Gore Cannon Blueprint. It's not a camo, but a blueprint where you have to get to Torment level 5, so you are completely, like, always on the radar and have this sandbox version of the 5 stars from GTA on you at all times that you have to end up surviving for 5 minutes to end up getting this. What I'd recommend is just, because you are marked like that, maybe grab a helicopter and keep flying around the map, because one cool thing with Purgatory is that the gas doesn't go down, so you can just continuously fly around so long as your helicopter doesn't take any damage. Now, the final camos that were introduced here that are earnable are the Warzone camos. Of course, you end up having that new Champions quest for completing the nuke contract, winning either 5 games in a row or 30 total on the season. This one that is introduced is for Big Map of Urzikstan. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that last seasons of Season 5 for Rebirth Island and Resurgence, pretty sure that one is still granted to players that are playing Season 6 and doing it, but haven't done that to verify just yet. But you do have that new nuke camo, which is of course a grind. But other than that, other cool ones are just simply the Warzone reward camos, where you end up having, firstly, I want to talk about the redacted camo, because this one, again, unless you do it or are told what the challenge is, you don't really have any indication as to what it will be. But you have to complete 3 intel contracts in a single match. So doing those old school recon style contracts, you can end up doing this with these. These I would say to do in Plunder. You can do them in Battle Royale or Resurgence if you'd like, but I just think it's way easier in Plunder to do this. Plus, you can end up stacking them. So if you do 6, it counts for 2 of those of your 10, 9 is 3, and so on and so forth. I don't know if you'll end up getting enough time to do 9 to 12 of those challenges. Anytime that I played, it just seemed like everybody was breezing through the Plunder matches, trying real hard to win that instead of using it as a sandbox to do these kind of things, which is totally fine, but it was just surprising to me. And then you also have those ones that are clearly laid out about the mobility, visiting 5 unique POIs in a single match. That's something that can be done on Urzikstan, Rebirth, or Vondel, doesn't matter the map. Kill operators pinged by a squad mate 3 times in a single match. That's exactly what the challenge suggests. And same thing with wiping out 3 squads in a single match as well. This one, I'm pretty sure it has to be you that gets the wipe kill. I've played a lot of Zombie Royale already, and maybe that's the reason, because everybody comes back once you end up killing them, but it is something to be aware of. You can also do this in Plunder, I'm pretty sure. So if you end up finding a solo or something like that, you can kind of farm them and get the 3 there, but those are your camos introduced with Warzone. Now, upcoming, there's actually still a decent number. We've had a lot to talk about thus far in terms of reward camos, but there's even more coming with the events still on the horizon for the rest of the season. We're going to see a camo at the end of the XP event for the Walking Dead Road to Terminus event. There appears to be one in the Trick or Treat event, which is upcoming here, though leaked footage has a lot of placeholder items, so it could be off, but there looks to be one with that. And then the Modern Warfare 3 Rewind event, which is the final event of the Modern Warfare 3 year of support, coming, I think, 2 weeks before the launch of Black Ops 6, so early November here at this. You're going to end up actually having a decent number of camos, another 6 earnable here at this. You have the Live, Laugh, Lava, which is like the magma camo from earlier this year, but it's not. It's more of the magma colored camos from like Black Ops 3 back in the day, where you had those 4 different camo variations of it that you could get out of supply drops. But here it's like a cycling pattern of magma red, blue, purple, and green. Sunset Armageddon is going to be a synthwave Miami Vice style camo. Cloudy Day is going to be a cartoon cloudy camo. Tall Order is going to be another camo that could have fit in with the Wildlife event. It probably is actually a cut camo from that, but with a giraffe theme on it. The Sparkle and Shine is going to be a Starry Nights type of camo, and then the Bricked camo, the final one, looks like a Mario brick, but blue. So it'll probably have that more blocky 8-bit texture to it, like it fit in with some of the other 8-bit things we've seen throughout the year. But honestly, again, for how lackluster the season launch was for like new original map content and stuff like that, only 2 additional multiplayer weapons, honestly, the camos are surprisingly in-depth for how many that we have. Like, just rattling it off, we have 16 camos by the end of Season 6 in a 4-week span. So there's a lot of stuff to still earn. I know, unfortunately, what's the point is a very valid question, because if we can't use these on Black Ops 6 weapons going into either the premium game, or fingers crossed, I don't think it's going to happen, but fingers crossed, we can put Warzone camos from Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 like this onto Black Ops 6 weapons, but I'm not expecting it. The architecture is there across the COD HQ, so maybe, but I'd probably say it's like a 90-10 split that it doesn't happen. So what is the point? Realistically, there's not one. It's nice to have these kind of things. I'm a completionist. Up until the end of a game, I'll still be trying to get what I can in the hopes that, you know, maybe it works out like how I just described. But anyways, that is all the camos, 16 of them throughout the entirety of Season 6 in a 4-week span. I'm enjoying the thought of that, but that's where we're gonna wrap it up. Just wanted to fill you guys in and give you some tips on how to get some of these if you are at all interested. But for now, that's what we're gonna call it. So let me know your thoughts down below. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure to subscribe for more Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 6, and other FPS coverage. I'd love to have you in the community. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care, and peace.